Here's the intro. Whew, boy, it's been a little while, but hey everybody, welcome back to Danny's Review Show with the first summer-themed episode, I guess. I mean, that's how the background is. And what better way to kick off a little over a month in the summer than with Mortal Kombat Arcade Kollection. I don't know what it has to do with summer, it's good anytime, but here we are. I'll be looking at the PS3 version today, so without wasting any more time, let's check out Mortal Kombat Arcade Kollection. So I'm not for sure if this is the case, but for some reason it stretched the picture even though I set it to 16:9 and this game's normally in HD, so I don't know. This menu's fine, it's a little confusing on how you can, change the game, or not confusing, rather not as clear, because if you don't look at the bottom near the arcade machines, you won't really be able to tell that you go left and right to change the games. It looks like you can just go up and down for stuff. Anyway, we'll start out with the original Mortal Kombat first. Boy, what a large selection of characters we have. Ah, the iconic first stage with all the ragdolls known as monks. Anyway, we're off to a really good start where I get my ass kicked by Sonya.
Sonya wins.
Why is the clapping sound effect so much clearer than others? Anyway, it took me a minute, but I got through the match and I didn't really know Scorpion's fatality code, so I didn't do it. We can look happy as can be, but really without a fatality it's a hollow victory. And of course this is going to be kind of hard to get through. I mean, it is an old arcade game after all. But probably the reason I'm able to get through this at all is because I have it set to the very easy difficulty and went... I didn't mean to do that, but hey, I'm happy. And hey look, test your might. Just mash all the buttons until the timer goes out. Okay, press a button as it's going up, but it's really not that much more to say about this game. What you see is what you get, an old fighting game that helped cause the ESRB to be a thing.
Scorpion wins. Fatality.
I did it. I caused a fatality. I'll value this trophy. Anyway, during arcade mode, I eventually got to Goro, and that's as far as I got. They made him way too hard, even on very easy difficulty, and before anyone says, just get good, this is unnecessary. This was an arcade game, though. So after that, I decided to try out a few more fatalities, plugged in the other controller, and played by myself just to try it out. And no, I'm not going to be doing the joke about how I'm playing by myself, even though I have another controller, because that's been overdone. Still kind of sad, but I was able to pull off Sub-Zero's fatality, as well as Johnny's and Sonya's fatalities. But I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to do the others' fatalities. I swear I was doing the right thing with the controls, I was trying everything and it just wouldn't work. It's like you have to be pixel perfect and it's just really hard to do in this game. It also really doesn't help that the timer is like 3 seconds, so you're pressured into doing the wrong thing. So it doesn't work out as well here. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about the original Mortal Kombat. It was a decent start to the series and was probably entertaining for the time, but while it's by no means a bad game, with a lack of moves and stuff, there are definitely better Mortal Kombat games out there. Though it really doesn't hurt to try this one out, because it's, like I said, it's not a bad game, there are just better options. Now it's time to move on to Mortal Kombat 2. Screen. There we go. We've got a slightly bigger roster of characters this time around. 12 instead of 7. So this game right here is significantly harder. I mean, I thought that the first one was a lot harder even on very easy, but this one, ooh boy.
Finish him. Reptile wins. Fatality.
The game is apparently a lot harder because they made the AI opponents tougher, essentially using cheats. I don't know who exactly the decision was made by, but it wasn't a very good decision. I'm pretty sure more quarters were on their mind. Also, the game seems a bit louder on standard volume for some reason. I mean, that's not a problem, I just felt like pointing that out. And in this game, I was not able to pull off a single fatality, at least in this recording. It's not impossible, I was able to pull it off before, I think, but it's definitely a lot harder here. Maybe the timer's shorter, but I don't know. This would be a good time to tell you that in this arcade collection you can hit the select button as your pause and then look at the moves and stuff, so that's pretty neat. Anyway, Mortal Kombat 2, it's definitely better than the first one when it comes to playing with other people. When you're playing on the arcade mode, it's both better and worse at the same time. So between this one and the first one, definitely go with Mortal Kombat 2. It is definitely better than the first one. Just, if you play arcade mode, prepare for a mostly unfair set of fights. And last but not least, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Why not regular Mortal Kombat 3? Well, that's because Ultimate is a lot better. Ultimate Mortal 3 Combat. Obviously, this is definitely the biggest roster of characters in any of the classic Mortal Kombat games. I'm not sure why there's unlockable stuff when this is an arcade game, but alright. One thing I like to do when I start this up is do this. Haha. I couldn't perform a fatality with Scorpion, but I did this instead.
Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Yeah, I forgot to mention those may have also been in Mortal Kombat 2, but I couldn't perform anything there, so, you know, moving on. Mortal Kombat 3 is definitely easier than 2 by a long shot, but that doesn't mean it's still easy. It just means that you can get a little farther in the arcade mode and not have to worry about the characters, you know, essentially cheating. There's definitely a lot more moves and stuff to pull off with all these characters as well as some other types of fatalities, including brutalities and obviously babalities like I showed earlier, animalities I have never been able to pull off, and it's interesting. This is definitely a good one. It's probably why it's been re-released the most out of all of them, as far as I know of. Is it perfect? No, and I probably wouldn't even call it my favorite Mortal Kombat game, but it's probably my favorite out of the classics. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It's not perfect, but I would recommend it over the other two. Now, if you were to play the original 3, it's not a bad game, just Ultimate is better. Well, overall, this is a nice collection. You get 3 decent games for only $10. And as for the other stuff I didn't mention, as you can imagine, the online works pretty well as your internet works. I mean, whenever it works, it's pretty nice. As for the HD, it looks pretty nice. I mean, the games are in standard 4x3, so they're not like, you know, widescreen or anything, but they look good in HD. Just make sure if you play this in S-Video or Composite that you play it with the standard being in 4x3, because if you play it in 16:9 like I did for this recording, it'll stretch the picture. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. Anyway, I would definitely recommend this collection to fighting game fans and Mortal Kombat fans and just fans of video games and fans of metal fans, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Well, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and like it if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more of these or any other types of videos I make, and thanks for watching.